Welcome, beautiful yogis. We are delighted you are here. Let's lie down and breathe together, reset our nervous systems, and come back to our essential self. I would like to begin today in Shavasana. So that means on your back without any props other than a pillow blanket, a bolster under your legs, and maybe, if you like, the blocks can be at the foot end of your mat, like that. And we begin just all the way down. Lie your body down on this beautiful good earth and feel how lovely it is to have support, no longer needing to hold ourselves up. And as you find your way into this Shavasana position, locate the midline of your body so that we can feel that we are left and right equally, and it might take a little wriggling around, falling away as it were, and get your props optimally supporting you. So that bolster, some like it directly under the bend of the knee, and some like it better under the thigh, just above the knee. See what best supports your sacrum. Position yourself, close your eyes, knowing that I am here now. Exactly as I am in this human body where I live, these thoughts and feelings that flow through me, and this willingness that is here to completely drop into the now moment and bring all the elements of beingness into alignment. Please take a deep nose breath in. Make it a big full one. A little pause, and then blow the breath out through your pursed lips. And again, the nose breathes in. So lovely, full. Blow the breath away. And one more time. Exhaling again through your pursed lips. And then tending again that feeling of drop throughout your body. I invite you now, as you breathe in again, to spread your palms wide open, your fingers apart. Spread as we hold now at the fullness of the breath. As the exhale occurs, let your hands soften, your fingers loosely, naturally curl. Awareness now to your feet. As we inhale, push through your heels, draw the toes towards you. Your feet might come off the floor and feel that tension through your feet, your spreading toes, all the way up your calves to your knees. Ready to exhale, let your legs flop down again and let them soften. This time, we breathe in deeply and we stretch both the arms and the legs and pucker up the face. Holding the breath, the puckering, the stretching, the pushing, the tension flowing through the body. And then the exhale, we let all of that go. Your feet relax, your hands, your fingers relax, your face softens back. Feel it all. We're We've got one more. Tension and clenching, so lovely deep breath in. Spread your toes, your heels, your fingers, pucker up your face, squeeze your buttocks, pull your tummy in, and hold all of that tension through your body. And let it go. Keep letting it go, keep letting it go. Staying now in the lovely, soft place. Please bring your attention to both feet, however you have them. And as you tend your feet, hone in on your big toes, both of them. So this now a little practice of focus and awareness as we settle on the big toes. If you can't find your big toes, move them a little bit, give them a little wiggle, and then you'll find your big toes in your awareness. And sensing now the bottom of your big toes and the top of your big toes and the sides of them. And then that intersection of your big toes with the ball of your foot. And just linger here a moment, and can you pick up any sensations now? What sensations are here in your big toes? Can you find any tension? Keep your awareness now in the big toes. And as you tend them, notice what's here. Lovely, everyone, feeling your big toes. And now let's bring the awareness to the other toes. You might wiggle them. 4 more toes on each foot, just to feel. And be aware of all your toes at the same time. And as your awareness settles on your toes, any noticing of sensations, of tensions, of warmth, of cold, any chronic issue in your toes. The invitation now to take a lovely deep nose breath in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And then as we blow this breath away through the pursed lips, go all the way down to the toes as if you're breathing out through your toes. Move your awareness to the balls of your feet. Sense and feel the bottom of your feet. We're aware of our skin and that mound that is just under the skin, the flesh of your foot. Moving your awareness now to the arches of your feet. To the heels. And the fullness of the bottom of your feet. So good to feel our feet. Lovely. And as we tend the bottom of the feet, the sense now that we could inhale through the bottom of the feet, breathing in, and bring your breath upwards from your feet, your knees, your groin, your tummy, to your heart. Fullness of breath at the heart. Little pause. And now through the pursed lips, as though exhaling through your heart. A sense of this exhale opening the heart space as we stay at the heart now to breathe in and the exhale again at the heart. Shifting now to nose breathing, deepening the breath in and around your heart. Tending all that you might feel here, even in the heart and your body and your clothes. Any tightness, you may notice that. Letting it all be as we continue to hold that awareness in the heart as though making space, softening. Next breath deeply in through the heart, holding it. And now the invitation to bring the exhale up, 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 up and out through the crown of your head. And as we breathe in, awareness at the crown of the head, letting awareness now roam over your brow and your eyes, and your cheeks, and the skin of your face. Breath natural. Awarenessing to your ears. And now awarenessing to the feeling of the breath right at the tip of your nose. Coming in a little cool and going out. Maybe you'll feel a little warmer right at the tip of the nose. Feeling the natural breath at the tip of the nose. This exploration that we are doing here at the beginning of our practice. Bringing our attention into the body, into the breath. This body where we live, our mind often at odds with the body and roaming around all over the place. And now the invitation just to be in your body. Feeling of breath at the tip of your nose. Lovely, deepening your breathing again. From the tip of the nose, follow your breath now downwards to your belly and how your tummy expands with the inhale and gently falls back on the exhalation. The next breath also coming in, expanding, opening into your tummy. And falling away. Staying with this low belly breath. Aware that our intention to breathe, to bring awareness to body, is all part of the overall intention in restorative yoga to relax, to let go our too busy minds, to let go the upsets that might occur in the emotional body, and to know that all this is a changing field. It's constantly changing. And that the breath is this beautiful thread that keeps us here and now. Here and now, all is well. Knowing that some days it's really easy to drop into the body and connect with the breath. And some days that's not so easy. And so a little kindness towards your busy mind. If it is so busy producing thoughts, it's hard to stay with this. And coming back to try again. And so, beautiful yogis, we are now going to move the bolster from under the knees to underneath your hips, coming into the supported bridge pose. So just lift your butt up, pull the bolster under, and then I always like to take the pillow blankie out for this, so that you have a space at your throat. And here we are now with the raised hips. You can have your legs straight or your knees bent. And see how more your upper back can settle simply with the raised pelvis. And let yourself be fully present in this shape, settling into it. To know that we are awareness now in this body. It's having a lovely stretch. Awareness itself completely in your body. This is where it's happening. Allowing the little stretch in your low back and in your legs. The support in your upper back, your shoulders, arms and hands. And how perhaps your breath can deepen now and have little pauses. Little pauses at the top of the breath and at the end of the breath. These little pauses are part of the settling in. Settling into this consciously breathing body. The magic of which is the effect on our nervous system. Stress ebbs away, calmness and connection increase. So this is an age-old practice that we do in this time and space. It's been done for centuries, especially in the East. the origin of yoga, of meditation. So as we rest and breathe, we are supported with the ancient mantras. The ancient mantras sung by one of today's artists, Tina Turner herself. And so let your body swell with the inhale and relax again with the exhale. And how the breath just arises seemingly out of nowhere, rises to fullness and then ebbs away again back to that emptiness, nowhereness. You might find yourself breathing the square breath, where your pauses are as long as the breath itself. In other words, you'd inhale, pause, exhale, pause, all for the same length of time. See how that feels. As you rest your awareness in the square breath, sense your body. Sense also that we are doing this together. So we're connected in this practice. And that makes all the difference. Each of us linked in together by the breath, by the sound, by the internet. And the infinite field of possibilities. Just a few more breaths of the square. When you complete the square breath that you're on, let that practice go and shift to the natural breath, letting go control and moving into allowing. And in this place, if you have a personal prayer or intention, let it ride silently on your breath. We complete this pose now, so bending your knees, push the bolster down, come to the ground with your lower back, and just bring one knee into your hand, the other knee into your hand, and see if you can bring your thighs closer to your body. A little hug to stretch your back where the bolster was. Lovely, and then let's roll over and set up for our next shape. So let's go for a spinal twist. So place your bolster long. You can pile it up with your blocks if you like. Bringing your blocks under your bolster. And then bring your blankie to sit on. And one for your legs. So we'll start on the left butt cheek. Plop on down. Get your legs comfy. They're both on the same side. And that you can use your blankie to rest your top leg. And then with a hand each side, lift and turn towards your bolster. And come all the way down. And rest your head. And maybe your legs just want to stay tucked in or straight, doesn't matter. Let your front now settle into the bolster. Close your eyes and bring your breathing into your back body. Right into the lower back. Let your breath flow, one into the next. Penetrating places you haven't felt, right in your back and your sides, your tummy. The smaller, more subtle airways, they want to be filled as well. And often when we're just on autopilot and breathing unconsciously, our breath isn't very deep. I find myself many times in the day noticing that my breath is quite shallow. It's like, come on, the air is free. Let it in, let it freely in. This is life force. Let it in easily and effortlessly. Bodies love breath. It's the first food. It nourishes and cleanses. The inhale, the exhale, these apparent opposites working together in the most beautiful, beautiful synastry, doing it together. A lot of our lives are like that too. Our emotions seem to come in pairs, and we learn to embrace them both. The opposites. It's the gift of yoga, bringing the opposites into wholeness and oneness, and our capacity to hold opposites at the same time. It's not where we live, but it's where we can practice coming home to. And maybe we can learn to live there. lovely, everyone. Let's gently make our way to the other side. Use your hands, push on up, rearrange to your right butt cheek. A hand lift and turn towards so that you can turn your spine the other way. Continue to breathe into the back to even out this bilateral body, to rotate the spine in the opposite direction. I have a little piece to share with you on integrating the opposites. And so you might have read my little blog about sadness, grief that comes up occasionally. And yet the love is there. And how to hold pain and joy at the same time. Beautifully expressed by Thich Nhat Hanh, but also by Khalil Gibran. So, I speak to you now on joy and sorrow. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked. And the self-same well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. How else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow. And others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come. And when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. Verily, you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you are empty are you at standstill and balanced. When the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and silver, needs must your joy or sorrow rise or fall. Your breath still penetrating deeply into your back, flowing one into the next. All right, everyone, let's move again. Let's move again. Coming up out of the revolved position into the symmetrical shape, either child's pose over your bolster or crocodile pose. I'll show you both. Lying forward in child's pose, sitting on your feet. For many of us, that really is not a happy place. And for you, please come to lie on your belly, placing the bolster under your tummy. So that you are now full frontal on the earth. You can use a pillow or your hands under your brow. Might feel better to turn your head to one side. And so it's not a one-fits-all. Please adjust to where you are today. Some of you might be sitting on a couch or a chair. What you can do for this pose, you could have your feet on the ground and just lean forward. It's very much like child's pose. It gives a great stretch for the back. Still the downward facing shape, inviting the breath into the back body. And there are times when joy and sorrow come out of balance and we tend to the heavier. And so we have the beautiful words of Hafiz to remind us. And he says, I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy, my heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O Sacred One, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul, that we might dance, and that our dancing might be contagious. And so even though we are not dancing at this moment, there's the lightness in those words, that we are made to smile, we're made for joy, and we are made to lift each other up. and that we are not alone in this. And here is my dear friend the breath coming in and going out, linking me to Source. Very gently now, making your way up and out of this pose. Give your legs a little stretch if you've been in child's pose. And we set up now for our seated forward bend. Make your little table support. A sturdy table or an actual table or a nearby chair will work. And sit on a pillow and then have your long spine. Reach forward to rest your brow on your hands or on your support, knowing that you could have cross-legged or straddle legs. So many places to feel in the body in this shape. And the lovely arriving of the breath. And flowing away of your breath. And when we tend the breath so wholeheartedly, we become very intimate with our breath. How the whole body receives the breath. And all the places that we can feel its movement as we have this very relaxed focus. what is so beautiful about being intimate with the breath is that we leave behind the concerns of the world and just rest in our own tranquility, into that witness. It has no judgment. A heart that is big enough for all joy and all sorrow. Enjoying the last few breaths in this shape, the seated forward bend. And now to come on up to a seated position. If you want to lean against a wall, that's fine. We'll do a little bit of pranayama here. So sit upright, and it's alternate nostril breathing. So bring your right hand thumb and closing off your right nostril. Inhale through your left. Close up your left with your ring finger and breathe out through your right nostril. In through the right. Closing it up and out left. In left. Switching to breathe out through your right. So the pressure is very light. The right is open for breath in. Very light pressure to close it as we open left for exhalation. Feel that lovely stream of breath going out and coming back in through the left. This is a balancing breath. Switch sides for exhale. Starting to cue yourself now. Remembering it's the same side that breathes in and the opposite side that breathes out. This wonderful, wonderful and powerful practice that really can change our state. It really can bring us just after a few minutes only into calm, clear focus. Not zoned out, but fully present. When you find yourself exhaling through your left, just rest your hand down and feel the breath through both nostrils. And so easy, so calm, so quiet, so intimate. So close. Lovely, everyone. And so from here, let's come onto our backs for the elevated legs position. Know that this little setup would work perfectly well to put your legs over, or you might go to that nearby wall that you have, maybe, and lie close to the wall and swing your legs into the wall to hang there. And what is immediately apparent as you lie your spine down, how nice it is to have your back supported again from the seated forward bend, from the sitting up. Now we're lying again on our back with elevated legs. Get really comfy, because now in this position, it's story time. Our story today comes from the time of King Arthur, but it's very relevant. A lot of the turmoil in the world today has to do with women's rights, centuries-long abuse of the feminine, and in our own country and certainly in Iran today, women are really demanding their rights. And so we'll tell you this lovely story from the days of yore. A long time ago, when Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table had finally driven the Saxon invaders out of Britain, Arthur went hunting in the forest. Well, it wasn't exactly his forest. He considered it was his because his army had liberated it from the Saxons. King Arthur, according to the story, followed a white stag which he had shot onto a previous owner's estate. Busy cutting the stag's throat, Arthur failed to notice the imposing, gigantic stature of medieval manhood raising his sword to kill him as a poacher. And when he looked up in surprise, Arthur exclaimed, "Don't you recognize your king? And have you no mercy? It was Sir Grommer. Sir Grommer replied, "Yes, you are a thief hunting on my land, and the punishment, as you know, is death. Doesn't matter who you are. No king is above the law of the land." Seeing that he had Arthur where he wanted him, he then said, "But I will show you mercy. I'll show you mercy if you could answer a riddle, and I will give you a year to find the answer. You must return next year at this time, prepared to die. If you know the answer, I will spare your life." Arthur agreed. Those were times when men honored their word. Sir Grommer's riddling question was, what do women desire most above all else? What do women desire most above all else? Arthur departed in good humour, thinking he could easily solve it. He had an entire kingdom of wise people to ask. After all, he was the chief, the patriarch of the Celts, certainly somebody who would know about the mystery of women's hearts. Apparently, Arthur was out of touch with his inner feminine. Nothing came to mind. In the course of the year, many answers were suggested and he wrote them down, but they didn't resonate for him. Time went by, and a few days before the scheduled meeting with Sir Grommer, Arthur returned to the scene of the crime and was accosted by an ugly, disgusting old hag, who told him, "Ha, ha, ha, you don't know the answer to the riddle." Who was she? "I am Lady Ragnell, Sir Grommer's sister. I will tell you the answer and save your life if you agree to my terms." Arthur was interested. "What are your terms?" he said. "If your favourite knight, Sir Gawain, freely offers to marry me, then I will tell you what women desire most above all else." Arthur protested. "Oh no, that price was too high." "What?" she replied. "Too high for a king's ransom? Hardly much at all." When the depressed Arthur told Sir Gawain, his gallant friend, Lady Ragnell's terms, Gawain said, "I would marry the devil to save your life, O king. I will marry her freely and save the kingdom in the process." So they went into the forest together. Lady Ragnell was waiting for them, and when Sir Gawain asked her to marry him in exchange for the answer of the riddle, she agreed, and they proceeded to Camelot for the nuptials. And that was when Sir Grommer appeared with his sharpened sword. But King Arthur was prepared. "I know the answer. What women desire most above all else is to govern their own lives, to have the power of sovereignty." Sir Grommer flew into a rage and ran back to his castle, swearing to kill his sister for disclosing the answer. Well, now there had to be a wedding, and what a wedding it was. Gawain and the witch were married. But Arthur was torn between relief and anguish. Gawain was proper as always, gentle and courteous, and the old witch put her worst manners on display. At the wedding she ate with her hands, belched and broke wind, and made everyone else uncomfortable. After the wedding, when the bride and groom retired from the court and were alone, Lady Ragnall said, "Give me a kiss." Sir Gawain kissed his bride, and at that moment she transformed before his eyes into a most beautiful woman. "Oh," she said, "you have broken part of my brother's curse. Now I can be beautiful. But the issue is, I can be either beautiful in private and an ugly hag in public, or I can be a hag in your bed and a beautiful wife in public. You must choose." What a cruel question. Gawain began to think of his dilemma. Did he want a beautiful woman during the day to show off to his friends, but at night in the privacy of his home an old spooky witch? Or would he prefer having by day a hideous witch, but by night a beautiful woman to enjoy many intimate moments? But Gawain said, "Now, that I cannot do. I cannot choose, for only you can decide such issues. It is your life to live, and only you can choose your pain and your pleasure." And the beautiful lady smiled with delight, and she said, "You have spoken well, for in your answer you have broken the second half of the curse. You have given me what I desire most, sovereignty over my own life, and you didn't choose for me. And therefore I will be myself all of the time. My brother hated my honesty, and he cursed me for it. But together, you and I, we have broken his magic." And so it is. Women want what all people want: freedom to direct their lives as they choose, without others blocking their course, or deciding for them. And the concepts of freedom and equality applied to all people, not just men of power. So may it be that way for all of us. May we give one another that sovereignty. Especially the women in the third world countries. And may the women of the first world countries learn to honor their men in the same way as they want to be honored. So beautiful, yogis, let's complete this pose. Bend your knees, hug your knees in. Have a little rock. And let's, for our final pose, take the open book shape. So that's 2 blocks setting up again under your bolster. This time we're on our backs on the bolster. And of course you can always choose to do Shavasana if this is not a happy pose for your back. Snuggle all the way in. Your blankies can be used to support your legs. As we lie back, surrender into that support now that runs along the central axis of our spine, and allowing that bilateral drop off through arms and legs. Feet touch, or your legs can be straight. resting and digesting. Feel the breath in your low belly. Now bring your breath to your heart. Feel its movement again at the heart. Knowing that as you breathe in your heart, all is well. Be nurtured as you rest. so beautiful, yogis. In this final part of our practice, at our breathing hearts, let's send this well-being, this peace, this all that we've gathered to our loved ones. And you could do that just energetically sending out from your heart to theirs. Peace, love, joy. Reminder to dance. And how we can send this out to all the women of the planet, everywhere. And all the men of the planet, everywhere. And the animals, and the trees, and all sentient beings. Gently bring now your knees back together. And roll over and off your sit-up. Lie a moment with your knees drawn in. And then make your way up to sit. So lovely, lovely and wonderful to practice with you, yogis. Namaste.